Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 1 of Steele forces you to watch him play Hades. This is a game that I've been very excited to play for a long time. I love Supergiant games. I love Greek mythology. I love roguelites. It is a confluence of a lot of things that have me very excited. And I'm very excited to share them with you in this brand new channel. This is a bit of an experiment. I do not have any real experience making videos or sharing content in this way, but I'm excited to give it a shot and excited to have you along for the ride. Without any further ado, let's jump right on in to Hades. Now, I have been practicing just a little bit. I played just a little bit over the last couple days just to kind of get a taste of it. But I want to take this from scratch. See this from the top? I have played maybe 2 runs of this. I've gotten a bit of a taste.
Whose very name inspires fear and penitence, reminding us of the inevitable fate which we all share. I, however, mean to tell you such a tale. Listen carefully.
Goodbye, Father.
And with that, we are dropped right into Tartarus. Now, I'm hoping that I've got the sound balance good. I'm pretty happy with what I landed on in the little tests I did before this. I don't want the game audio to be completely washed out by my voice, but I also don't want it to wash my voice out. My only other concerns are that it is winter, and I am an asthmatic, so I hope my voice does not sound too nasally or stuffed up, and I hope that the sound of my incessant mouse clicking is not too insufferable. But I think there will be plenty of it, so brace yourself for that while I kind of work out the intricacies of working with a new microphone and working with a microphone at all, because again, all of this is something of an experiment. I've got a good high school friend who's been making some gaming videos and doing some Twitch streams. I'm hoping I can rely on his expertise a bit. My brother-in-law and his brother have both been getting into this as well lately. I'm hoping I can, you know, find my own style, but hopefully get some help with the actual mechanics of the streaming and video recording process from them. Now, what do we have here?
It's got to be her. Then here goes nothing. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Hail, noble cousin.
Howdy,
Now,
Athena.
Let's get you from that miserable place.
Let's do exactly that. Now, I'm like so many people my age where I think a lot of us grew up reading Percy Jackson, were very into the Greek gods, got into that mythology a lot. I like the idea of my attack deflecting, because with this sword, like I said with the mouse clicking, I think I'm going to be spamming my main attack a lot. So that's what I'm going to want, deflecting bullets. And the like.
Hello, mates.
I'm remembering in elementary school, way back when, a series I read that I think was not nearly as famous as any of Rick Riordan's works, but that talked about the Greek gods and kind of built a fiction series around that, and the protagonist of that one was Hades, where he was kind of a guy that got a bad rap for being the death guy, you know, but was actually a total sweetheart once you got to know him. I do not think that's the case in this game. I think Hades deserves his reputation from what I've seen here in Hades.
Have a nice death.
And I think we're definitely going to be seeing a bit of him.
Each exit has its own reward.
Gonna wager that this is Artemis. But one thing I was thinking of the other day, just to dive right into anecdotes, is I've been trying to consider some world building in the hopes that I can perhaps like DM some D&D for some friends, or even just, you know, building a world is fun. And as I was trying to think of, you know, details about a pantheon, I feel like the fact that so many of us nerds kind of came into the idea through Greek mythology we kind of fall into this idea that each god or goddess is the god or goddess of something. Like here we have the goddess of the hunt, Ares is the god of war, Zeus is the god of lightning. When really it's not always that cut and dry in real mythologies and real faiths, and it doesn't have to be that cut and dry in fantasy either. You know, we can have deities that represent certain things or have certain tendencies, but aren't, you know, super confined to whatever that portfolio may be. I'm not using my special, like, at all with this weapon. So I'm thinking pressure points may be the way to go. I'm totally winging this. I have some experience playing roguelites, sort of this genre of game. I've played a lot of The Binding of Isaac. I've played some Enter the Gungeon. But apart from the very little bit of game time I squeezed in the last couple days, I have basically no experience with Hades itself. But for those of you that may not have seen any gameplay of it, although I know it has been very popular lately, I've got kind of my main attack, which is what I'm relying on for most of my damage dealing. I've got this dash that I've been using to get around and to maneuver and to dodge attacks, and I can dodge and go right into a swipe for a bit of a special attack if I can land it. There's my first damage. I've got, oh my gosh, wow, that was embarrassing. I've got my cast, which uses this, I think they call it a bloodstone. And then I've got a special attack, which in the case of this sword is that kind of area of effect slam. And so different abilities, different boons from the different Olympians will affect my main attack, my dash, my cast, and my special in different ways. And as you can see, as we go to the next room, we can kind of see what we can expect in that room. In the next one, I assume that just means I'll have a chance to earn some coin. These enemies with the yellow outline are armored, and they don't really tell you any of this. I mean, what I'm showing you now is a fresh save, dropping right in. They don't spend time on tutorialization. You figure it out as you go, or you don't figure it out. And I need to figure out what the crap I'm doing, because I am taking just monumentally stupid damage that I don't need to be taking. Which I'm hoping you'll excuse a bit of early on in this, what I hope will be a series. Since I am figuring it out as I go. I just need to figure it out a bit better. I will say, one of the challenges of what I'm hoping to do is learning to talk and play at the same time, which is a challenge to kind of keep those multiple tracks running, to not get myself killed, not take stupid damage, but also keep going with compelling dialogue, which is not easy. Trying to conjure up any anecdotes while also focusing on gameplay. The other thing that's going to make that difficult is keeping things light, topics of discussion that aren't depressing. Find myself thinking a lot about politics lately for reasons that I think are obvious to any American and any of the poor non-Americans who are subjected to our political system, which I think is pretty much everyone. I don't want to get bogged down in that while playing a game for other people's entertainment, because if I did so, I don't think it would be for other people's entertainment. I think it would be a bit of a chore to watch. And you know, I am hoping to get into content creation kind of for my own entertainment, because this is something that's fun to do and something I think I will enjoy, but not much use in doing that if the viewers are not having a good time as well. I think we all get enough political distress in our lives without having to see it in our Hades gameplay. Get out of the way there. There we go. I have to assume that this is Dionysus, the god of wine and, yep, revelry. That's the word I was thinking of. Which I don't think is common in Tartarus, so pleasant surprise for our boy Zagreus. Hey there, Zagman. Love the art in this game. Supergiant just has so much charm in everything they make. Bastion is a spectacular game that, who knows, maybe I'll end up playing on this channel sometime. I do like the shot, like the idea of having a better cast. Festival Fog, stuns foes, that sounds great. This would give me some, I think that's Nectar, as in of the gods. And then this would have my special, that slam attack, inflict hangover, which is basically some bleed damage over time. I like the idea of an AoE burst on my cast in area of effect fog, so I think I'm gonna go with Trippy Shot.
Leave it to the god of wine to liven things up around here.
No kidding. But yeah. Avoiding... I think the key to avoiding topics of discussion that are either boring or distressing or repetitive, I think will come from, you know, injecting a few of my own anecdotes from my day-to-day life. The only problem is, in case you guys haven't noticed, there's a bit of a pandemic going on, so I don't have very much of a day-to-day life. And as a college student, what little day-to-day life I have largely consists of doing online classes and playing video games, so you'll already be getting a dose of the latter, and I don't know if you want too much of a dose of the former. I am studying law and constitutional studies, so I am swamped in a lot of political science. So if I'm not mistaken, this bag would take us to a shop where we could exchange some of these coins that we've picked up. And this is a Palm of Power, which would let us upgrade one of the boons we've already received, which I think is probably the way to go. I didn't actually get any use out of this, so I think we are a little low on health, but I feel like I can dodge well enough, which seems a little laughable considering how low my health is right now, but... Ooh, and I need to take care to avoid traps. But, oh my gosh, and that, I guess. Dodged. Pardon me. That's the other challenge there, is not just letting my gameplay slip from talking, but letting my talking slip from gameplay, because definitely when something crazy or intense or difficult is happening, it's extra hard to maintain the dialogue while maintaining even a baseline level of gameplay. Ooh. But yeah, I am a law and constitutional studies student. I am also TAing for a comparative politics class, which is basically the only thing I leave my apartment for these days. So if you wanted any personal anecdotes, you'd be getting a lot of that. Which, you know, as my only anecdotes at the moment, you may well get a bit of. But I'll try not to overdo it. Today is Halloween, and I can tell you a little bit about my costume, which I'm very proud of. Like the idea of just boosting up my attack damage, so I think we're gonna go with that. So I've had a bit of a Halloween tradition for the last several years, where I construct my costume from what is left in the Walmart costume aisle the night before Halloween. And so, the first year I did that, it was a very impromptu thing. I hadn't given Halloween any thought, wasn't really planning on anything in particular, but inspiration struck the night before. I said to my roommate, I need you to take me to Walmart right now. And what I did was I went and I found 2 cheap little pirate costume kits. And I put an eye patch on each eye, I had on 2 bandanas, 2 earrings, and I had a sword in each hand, and I was a double pirate. And I wore that one of 2 ways over the course of that Halloween. Either I had an eye patch on each eye, and, you know, was thus completely blind, or what I did, well, I helped my grandparents dish out candy to some kids in their neighborhood. I put both eye patches over the same eye, and I would ask them, hey, want to see what happened to my eye? Want to see what's under this thing? And then I would flip up the eye patch just to reveal a second one. And I thought that was the funniest thing I had ever done in my entire life. Then last year, I decided to turn that into a tradition. Didn't have any particular ideas, but went and combed the aisles, and I ended up with a little costume I like to call Hatchet Panda MD, in which I had a truly monstrous panda mask. So that is Athena, and that has got to be some health, which I could surely use right now. A truly terrifying panda mask with some like blood around the mouth, evil-looking eyes. I had that. I had a lab coat. I had goggles around my neck, like lab goggles, and I had a plastic axe. And I scared the crap out of some kids, which I felt pretty bad about, but was also just objectively funny. And then this year, just last night, ran to Walmart to keep the tradition going. Ooh, that was dangerous. I need to take advantage of my power to deflect. Ran to Walmart, hopped into that costume aisle. More things left in the aisle than the previous years, which I'm going to take as a good thing, because that means that hopefully not too many people are going out tonight in the midst of a pandemic. Awesome. I got myself a large foam unicorn head, just dented to crap and truly looking terrible. Quick intermission. So this is what's called Darkness. It's kind of a currency I can spend on some upgrades in between runs. These are what are called chthonic keys, and these I can use to sort of unlock new upgrades that I can then spend Darkness on. And chthonic keys can also be used to unlock new weapons apart from this sword, so I'm going to be prioritizing those this run, so that I can hopefully diversify what my future runs will look like a bit. So I got this giant foam unicorn head, truly terrible looking, looks like it's been run over by a car. Just got dents in it that are impossible to flatten out. I got a ninja costume set. Oh my gosh, that was so stupid. Which was just 2 katanas and 2 sais, those little 3-pronged dagger-looking things, like one of the Ninja Turtles. I'm blanking on the name. Raphael, maybe? Has. And so I've got this unicorn head, and I've got these ninja weapons, and I'm thinking I like this, but it's not complete, and I decided to just dip back in for one last pass to the costume aisle, and I found the missing piece. Found the missing link to tie it all together. A belt of bullets to sling across my chest. And I have not named this costume, but I'm tremendously proud of it. And I think it's, oh, that was dumb. I think it just feels appropriate for the year that 2020 has been, of just this truly depressing unicorn helmet with a belt of bullets and a number of blades. Now we could go for the Palm of Power to further upgrade one of our blessings that we've gotten, or we could head to the shop and hopefully scoop up some health, and I think that's the way we want to go, because I feel like we've got to be coming up on a boss fight soon, and I want to be prepared for that. And who else to sell us things but the ferryman of the underworld, Charon himself. Hey, buddy.
Why, good to see you, Charon, mate.
Charon, mate.
My own business, taking in the sights, and hey, what's that you got? Some sort of wares for sale? Then I'll just have a look around.
Just peruse. There's
Beyond
this
the
here.
present chamber lies the outermost perimeter of Tartarus, promising terrifying dangers far beyond the Underworld Prince's reckoning.
And I can reckon quite a bit.
That's interesting to me. That, Zagreus can hear the narrator? Because I assume that means that he is an actual person in the game, and I'm curious to see who our narrator is. So we've got a Palm of Power, which is an ability upgrade. We've got a boon from Athena, and we've got some HP, which I think we definitely need. And we do not have enough to spend on both of these, so I think we're going to go for the Athena boon.
It feels unseemly to make contact from that most unpleasant boat.
Oh, Charon's not that bad a guy when you get to know him. He just likes his coin. So, it looks like I think every god kind of has a theme to their boons. I think Artemis deals with critical damage, Dionysus deals with those two status effects, Hungover and the Festive Fog, and Athena, clearly her shtick is deflection. I like the idea of this, because every time I swing my sword I can deflect. And it can also make them take more damage when struck from behind, but I'm not really backstabbing too much with this sword. So I'm thinking that maybe dash is the way to go, because I'm basically constantly dashing. So to be able to give that a little bit of damage and let me dash through projectiles more effectively, I think that's how we want to do it. And hopefully that will be enough to see us through the boss fight that I think is on the other side of this door. Ooh, but first, what do we have over here? No, just a nice look of this sea of blood. A river of blood. This is probably the Styx. Or I don't know. This is Tartarus, which,
Just tidying up a bit.
Tidying up a bit, which is, like, the depths of Hades. I don't know if the Styx runs this deep. This could be a different, hellish river. Let's go ahead and pop on through and see what we can see.
Well, this is awkward.
Halt, Zagreus.
Hey, Meg.
Not one step further.
Zagreus.
Come on, Meg. Haven't we had more than enough of each other by now?
Pardon my sniffles again. I am
Someplace else to be.
breathing impaired.
Your father sent me.
I do feel I have a number of talents, but respiration is not among them, particularly not in the winter, which is, you know, doesn't bode particularly well for me during an airborne respiratory pandemic. Alright, so we've got a Fury to fight, which means I need to get good, and also means I really need to not step on those spike traps, because I've not done perfectly with that this game. Now, I have fought Meg once before in one of my little practice runs. Ooh. But I do not know all the ins and outs of her moveset. So this could end poorly for me, but I'm trying to keep my distance and bait out those charges. I'm sight reading this for the most part. Which, I feel like I'm doing a decent job, but it's not a great percentage of her health compared to the percentage of my health. Okay, let's get that deflection going that I've got 2 abilities that can do. Don't want to get too distracted with the side guys, but also don't want to let these little dudes set up to blast me with projectiles when I'm distracted. Let's get that going. Not great aim. Whew. Oh!
Give Hades my regards.
Rest in peace. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our first death. Likely of many. Such is the way of any roguelite, and especially one in which I am the Prince of Hell. And that, I think, is where we are going to call the end of this first episode. I hope it's good. When we pick up in the second episode, we will explore this chamber a bit and take a little bit of a look at what happens in this game in between the combat and the exploration. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that this is the beginning of something great, and I hope you have a wonderful day and a happy Halloween. I'll see you next time.